remember we recently reported on the winter storm that hit Texas, causing temperatures to plunge dramatically, resulting in unbelievably extreme snow and icy conditions. While dealing with the storm has left millions without power, without heat or water, we of course are still in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Right now we are touching base with Lee Martin, who spent his younger years here in South Africa before returning to settle down in the US. A very good morning, Lee. How are you?
I'm doing well, all things considered. I'm alive. I'm warm, and I'm not. I have some power in my house, which is fantastic.
I know that's quite a rarity, at least looking at the reports we've been getting here in South Africa. We know that temperatures have been reported to go as low as minus 18 degrees Celsius. Can you give us a first-hand account of what sort of conditions you dealt with when the storm actually hit, and how have the conditions changed since then?
So the name that's being thrown around in the media was Winter Storm Uri. We like to call it Wintergeddon because this thing just absolutely smacked us in the face. In Texas, we are a warmer climate relative to the rest of the United States. And so we just weren't prepared for it. I mean, if you think of rain freezing on the streets, then covered by snow, which is actually quite beautiful to look at, but you cannot drive in. And so this thing just froze everyone, pun intended, in place in their homes. Vehicles were incapacitated. And what we had to do was essentially, sort of survive here in Texas. If you think of going outside and being able to take a cup of boiling water, throw it in the air, but before it hits the ground, it's frozen. That's what we were dealing with. I just never, in my adult life, actually in my childhood, I've never seen anything quite this bad here in Texas.
It was like something from a movie, looking at the scenes that, you joke about, Stormageddon, this kind of post-apocalyptic world that you were suddenly thrust into, with so many people being stranded without heat, without electricity, without water, the essentials. What sort of extremes did people go to for these resources?
So, and this is kind of a running joke because, well, the weather forecasts kind of always are, but everyone said, snow is being predicted. It's not going to be that bad. So as much as shelves are sort of being emptied, and this has been happening for 12 months because the pandemic threw everyone sort of upside down, right? When the weather started to happen, people didn't go out and really do what they probably needed to do, myself included. And so drinking water, food that didn't need to be refrigerated, so non-perishables, a lot of these things, the preparations weren't in place, and it came in and happened so quickly that you sort of were just stuck having to fend for yourself with what you had on you or in your home. And then the power goes out, and then it's cold, right? So you start to deal with just the domino effect of what happened. And fortunately for me, I had family nearby, and somehow my parents' home was not affected and had power. So we were able to slowly drive through the snow and ice to get to them and just kind of camp out. But there were so many, Graham, that did not have the ability to do that. I have friends that had very young children who the entire families were sleeping in a bed together, covered in clothes, layered up, worried about their children's health, and actually just being so cold and unable to go anywhere. There was no help, right? Not everybody has family. I will say this, though. If you were able to, as Texans, and we're really proud in the state, if you were able to help and you were able to, both offer and access help, it was there.
Unbelievable. Sounds like a movie. You talk about post-apocalyptic. It is crazy, man. And obviously, lest we forget, we are still in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. How have the hospitals and medical personnel been coping during the corona pandemic, as well as the crazy conditions that you've been explaining to us?
Overall, I think we are in a much better place than we were even a month ago. And so as we start to see the vaccine sort of roll out, medical professionals being the top priority in terms of the way that it's scheduled to be administered, I think it's slowly getting a little bit better. But it's been a tough year. It's been a tough year on families, on people's just mental health. And, I think we're going to learn a lot from this. But for now, I think we're still in it.
Yep, still very much still in it and appreciating the work that our frontline workers are doing. I think that's a global
Absolutely.
phenomenon. Lee, I'm now so much more appreciative of seeing you safe and warm and healthy right now. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and sending you a huge amount of positive energy and love from South Africa right now. I know you guys are also going through the thick of it at the moment. So please stay safe and stay warm, my friend.
We will. I will. Bye, donkey. Thank you.
Tot ziens. Oh man,
Okay.
we love getting in touch with our international viewers, even under these crazy circumstances, but especially when they provide us with such amazing insight into their lives abroad. Thank you so much to Lee for taking the time to chat with us. Stay safe, and wishing him and the rest of our American viewers, especially those in Texas during these crazy times, all the best, surviving not only COVID-19, but this extreme weather as well.